third annual Sauder Global Case Competition. Again, this is the final round of the competition. I would like to introduce the judges to you. Firstly, Mr. Rick Christian, the General Manager at Glentel. Mr. Phil Kennedy, the Director of Service and Sales Support at Glentel. Mr. Mark Burkles, the Vice President, Investor Relations at Finning International. Mr. Brian Levenkind, the President and Director of Argentum TAC, co-CEO of MD Clinic, as well as the co-founder and CFO at Live Care Health Canada. Mr. Bob Elton, the Chief Risk Officer at Man City. Mr. Mark Aktermichek, the Managing Director at CMLS Financial, as well as Mr. Tom Wong, Senior Advisor at HSBC. Judges, thank you all again for volunteering your time and joining us at the event today. Audience, I would like to remind you to please again turn off your mobiles and refrain from using them during the presentation. In addition, please do not leave the room or make disruptions for any reason. After the question and answer period, I will ask everyone to leave the room. After the Q&A period, there will be again a period for judge deliberation. Each presentation is 20 minutes long, followed by 15 minutes of question and answer. Any time not used during the presentation will be reallocated to the Q&A period. For the presentation, the timer will be giving visual reminders at the 5-minute and 1-minute marks. When there are 15 seconds remaining, the timer will also be signaling presenters through arm gestures. Presentation will be strictly cut off when the presentation time has elapsed. Judges, again, we remind you to not ask any new questions in the last minute of the Q&A period, and the timer will again give you a reminder. Please note again that all presentations and Q&As will be recorded. Presenters, you may start whenever you are ready.
After 52 years of operation, Glentel is currently at its turning point. It is facing lowering margins as well as intensifying competition in the market, and therefore it is essential for Glentel to come up with a sustainable and profitable 5-year comprehensive plan. Therefore, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are here to present to you our 5-year plan for Glentel, the 3D solution: diversify, differentiate, and develop. We are Team Tsinghua. I am Tintin, and these are my colleagues, Yang Wei, Elise, and Daniel. Let's move on to our analysis. This is the business model for Glentel. It takes equipment from manufacturers and then reselling it to the client through installation, and hence receiving a markup fee. It is important to note that this business model is volume driven, meaning that while receiving equipment from manufacturers, the higher the volume, the lower the price. Conversely, when we see decreasing demand from clients, we will see an increase in price and therefore damaging our margins. This is exactly what Glentel is facing today. As our manufacturers and service providers from other industries come into our business model and communicating directly with our clients, we are facing decreasing margins. In view of this, we have identified 2 key drivers for Glentel. Firstly, to maintain our economies of scale by expanding volume, and secondly, we have to capture other sources of revenue. With these 2 key objectives in mind, we present our executive summary, with the first objective of differentiating ourselves and increasing our competitive advantage with 2 strategies. Firstly, diversify into high-margin consulting. Secondly, to differentiate ourselves by building relationships with large clients. And our second objective is to strengthen our market position by expanding into the public safety sector where we previously have a weaker presence. We believe that through our 3 strategies, we can achieve an increase in CAGR from 4.9% in 2013 to 15% in 5 years. Now, I'll move on to our first strategy, diversify. company and thereby building on our brand image. It is also viable financially. It improves the bottom line of performance of the firm, as consulting service is a high profit margin business with at least 40% margin. Also, we believe that while analyzing our customers, they wish for a customer lifetime value and they look for an integrated solution ranging from new integrated project management to cloud computing. And this whole secure lifetime service will provide a steady stream of revenue for the entire lifetime of the project that we take out with our clients. Now that we know that consulting is the way to go, we want to see what is the best way to do it. So by looking at the 4 operating metrics of what customer demands, we believe that a one-stop ecosystem for hardware and software is the way to go on top of our current hardware consulting service that we are already providing. What this means is we are introducing the eco-communications consulting solution for our clients. These bridges can help with each client in 4 steps. Firstly, design, building, installing, and lastly and most important, support. We are already doing the first 3 parts of this ecosystem software, this ecosystem consulting, by providing a design, build, and install hardware solutions for our existing business, leveraging on our professional expertise and experience team. But what we believe that what we can further do to improve on this is by value adding on our lifecycle management and smart analytics by providing software support. We're listed down the 3 ways to do it, but what we believe that is most important is not what we are doing, but how we do it. So for software support in our eco-communications program, we believe in doing lifecycle management through cloud computing and smart analytics through insights in big data. What this means is, firstly, looking at cloud computing. It is interesting to know that 2/3 of our clients use cloud computing as they believe that it helps them to make better data-driven decisions. And also, cloud computing increases the reliability of the system, especially in disaster management. For example, when our local servers are down because of a disaster, cloud computing through remote locations can continue to enable us to do research and come up with decisions through data. Secondly, insights from big data. It is interesting that even though big data has already a proven track record of reducing costs and increasing efficiency, 24% of our clients are not doing it because they feel that they lack the skilled personnel, and 23% believe that they lack the understanding of predictive analysis. Good, and we believe this is exactly where Vental can come in to bridge the gap in the lack of expertise. In doing so, we can uncover patterns, trends, and make better decisions for our clients can make better decisions. To put this into perspective, we can implement ways to do it, especially in public safety projects, by not only providing the communication in between page caller and fleet, but also in optimizing the ways, the implementation in deployment of forces systems or preempting disasters and have lower reaction time. We understand our competitors are already doing this, but we believe that we can leverage on expertise in installation and actively hire industrial experts to make it possible. Next, my colleague Yang Wei will further elaborate on our second strategy.
Thank you, Xinjian. So currently, while facing with 2 challenges, one is fierce competition, and the other one is shrinking margins. Our first strategy is to expand our consulting services to reach high margins and also diversify our product portfolio. And our second strategy, differentiation, is going to seize high-value customers based on our expertise. So, according to the Pareto principles, 80% of our total profits come from 20% of our total customers. So it's very crucial for us to compete to win the competition to seize those 20% high-value customers. And who are they? So firstly, let's look at the business model. So Vental, they purchase hardware from manufacturer and pitch to our clients. We want better price and conditions from manufacturers, and those hardware are priced under volume-based pricing strategies. So we need substantial volume to purchase to enjoy our low cost benefit. And also, reports from McKinsey show that the higher the revenue of your contracts in IT and telecom industry, you you will have higher gross margin. So second, larger scale contracts will help our company to achieve high margins as well as a sizable profits. And lastly, successful case with influential companies will help contribute for your future success in pitching new clients. So our top clients will be large-scale influential companies. In order to meet their preference and also meet their high standards, we should be aware of where is our competitiveness. So the industry is getting more and more competitive. Radio manufacturers, they expand their business into retailing by establishing their own sales team, and also service providers, they expand their operation investing in R&D to compete with functionality of two-way radios. Because of its streamlined payments model, it's perceived as cheaper cost. However, when you add up all the monthly cost of all our users, you will find out two-way radios tend to be more cost efficient because one-time cost benefits multiple users. So this is our first competitive strength, which is cost efficient. And radio manufacturers, they can offer lower price because they have direct channels. And also they benefit a lot from high customer recognition. Why? For example, if you are Motorola radio users, you tend to trust Motorola retail without no reason, even they are a new entrant. However, our 52 years expertise in this industry will be a very valuable asset. So this is our second competitive strength, which is experience. And for the third one, compared with our existing players, we are the only national two-way radio company as well as the largest Motorola solution partner in Canada. So if your enterprise has national presence, means you have branches all over the nation, so no one can provide better service than us. Based on our expertise, we propose to launch start from Salesforce transformation to gradually diversify our product portfolio to a full solution service providers, including a high-quality hardware and also end-to-end services. We want to seize those high-value customers and brand us or differentiate us as the only national players, and also pitch them with our value-added products to maintain high margins and also sizable profits. And our research has shown that by producing this strategy, we will achieve 50 to 20% improvement in direct sales and 35 to 55% decrease in operating expenses. So to wrap up, our industry now have two trends. One is to do the vertical integration, and the other one is to enter new markets to build your own competitiveness. So our first strategy will look at the first trends, and then our second strategy is going to build our own competitiveness to pursue future success. Let's go to my colleague to elaborate on the third strategy.
Thank you, Yamrick. We've already seen our first two strategies, building up our company's competitiveness strength through achieving high margins and differentiation. So now, based on these two strategies, we'll introduce our third strategy, which will expand our existing businesses and make them contribute more to our revenue. We propose building a comprehensive supporting team to win in the public safety industry. So let's first take a look at the public safety industry. What is it like? In this industry, the LMRS service is widely used in a lot of aspects, including border services, policing, firefighting, and a lot more. So it's not surprising to find that in this industry there actually can be a lot of demand in the future if suppliers can achieve differentiation and diversification. And based on our previous two strategies, we believe our company is able to achieve these two goals within the coming 5 years. So there's good reason we can expect sustainable high demand in this industry. And not to look into the future, even for now, this is a very promising market already. We see the expected market size for a 5-year period, 2012 to 2016, of $1.75 billion. And there's a very clear geographical trend moving from the west to the east. In the year 2013, the market share of the west and the east is relatively balanced. However, we believe what drives the market to grow in the future will be the growth in the eastern market. And in the end, we think the eastern market will take up 69% of the whole country's spending in the 5 years spending plan. And combined with its high urbanization rate and its high population of twice as the population of the western area, we think large contracts in the eastern part of Canada will be the driving force and will be great potential in this industry. So this market is good, but should our company enter it? And do our company's properties match what our users need? Let's check on a few key facts. First, LMRS is our core business, and this is actually desired by the public safety departments of Canada. They want reliability for their products, so this is a good match. And some people worry that as a national level service provider, we may lack some presence in some local areas compared to our local competitors. However, we don't really think this is a problem since nowadays bidding are done through the online system, so we can actually do it without really entering that market. Really entering that province or city. And then our accumulated experience in this sector will give us bonus points. And finally, we don't really think our past limited contracts in this sector would be a barrier in winning new bids because in this industry, past relationship is of little use in winning new bids. So actually, no, we can see our companies in a good position. But unfortunately, we're not having very good performance in the past few years. Like in 2013, we have only 3 out of all 54 large projects that belong to the sector, which is only 5.6%. So we propose building up a strong supporting team and raise this number to 23.8% in the year 2020. So what kind of support team? Let's take a look at the lifespan of such a project. First, we need to win the bid, and then we deliver what the users need to them. And then all through the life of the contract, we'll need to deliver value-added services to our users. So among all these support teams, we recognize a strong bidding team as our most urgent issue. Why? First, we need to win the bids as soon as possible before being taken by other competitors. And we believe our other teams are either strengthened by our first 2 strategies, like our consulting team or a sales team, or are originally strong. So what are the key factors for bidding? We take an example of some desirable criteria provided by Canadian governments when they pick the winner of the bid. So we conclude that actually the most direct result is a request for proposal ratings, which is a score. But this is driven by your company's ability to communicate your strength with the government when we use the bidding materials. So we rule out the things that a bidder can really control and focus on developing experiences and communication abilities. For experiences, we want to combine our bid team management with people inside our company who really knows us and people hired from outside who are really experienced bidders. And for communication abilities, we want to launch training programs and invite third-party training organizations to tell our staff how to recognize the real problems and how to show our strengths effectively. And by doing this, we can be an expert in this field in the future. Next, my colleague Daniel will elaborate more on the financials.
Thank you, Liz. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm trying to emphasize that our strategies are not only strategically correct, but also practically viable. So in order to make a correct forecast, what we do here is we need to make some key assumptions. And our rationale is that since our business division mainly operates in 3 business areas, which are consultants and backhaul and also LMRS. So our assumptions are actually 3 sides. And what I want to emphasize here is the last one, since it takes up to 80% of our total revenue. The method we're going to use here is a top-down method. We try to size the overall market, the overall MS market at first, and then we try to assume a market share. And this is not the end of the story because we also perform the sensitivity analysis to support that our assumptions and models are quite sound and robust. And the result is here. The 2 pie charts left shows that how the composition of these 3 business areas contributing has been changed. Since that you can see from the upper chart that consulting only contributes less than 11% at the year of 2013, but with our strategies, we can make consulting contribute over 15% of our EBIT in the year 2020. It's not only because the increasing revenue of consulting, but more importantly, it is because consulting has a higher margin, right? Consulting has over 40% of margin, and that's why we contribute a higher portion. And that's exactly corroborates with our first strategy when we said consulting should be our next focus. And the line chart here shows that we can double our sales by our strategy within 5 years, and we can increase the EBIT margin around 3%. And the way we're going to implement our strategy is like we want to facilitate our first strategy as soon as possible, but for the second and third strategy, we want to facilitate maybe after half a year because we recognize that it may take time to train schedules to make them fully operational before we put them into use. And at the same time, we are also fully concerned that there are still some risks. Among them, the first two are our major concerns. Because as I mentioned before, the LMRSR market consists of over 80% of our revenue. And this is a highly project-based industry, which means that if we lost a big contract, we must lose a large portion of our revenue. And that's a really serious problem. However, we don't think that's a really urgent problem because those contracts are usually over years, maybe 5 or even 7 years contract. And based on our current information and those all public information, we find there is no imminent determinate contract. So there's nothing to worry about. And we can also mitigate this risk by training a really professional sales and bidding team. So in summary, we're proposing a set of 3 strategies, triple D strategies, to expanding consulting business, to training a really professional and experienced sales and bidding team to win more projects in the Eastern Canada. And we are really confident to bring our company into the next leading telecom company in Canada. And we're fully operational. And thanks for your time, and we are open for questions right now. Thank you.
Absolutely. You were talking a little bit about diversifying ourselves into more of a consulting, big data, that approach. I'd like you to talk a little bit to that. That was a very different skill set than what we currently have. So how would you go about acquiring or helping us build that skill set? What do we need to do from an HR perspective to actually implement that? Because it's all about people.
Thank you for your question. I think we can answer this question in terms of 2 areas. Firstly is the sales force, and second is the consultants. From the sales force, we have to sell our entire bundle of strategy, which is the e-communications, to our clients, and therefore we have the sales force training, as mentioned by Young to complete that step. And after securing our clients, in terms of consultants, I think we have 2 ways of doing it as well. One is the technical, and second is strategy and implementation consultant. In terms of technical consultants, I think Glentel has already a whole set of expertise and experienced professionals in this area in terms of implementing the hardware. As well as from the software perspective, maybe we need new hires, professional hires to come into this area, and we can hire consultants from large consulting companies, and we can hire data and software analytics experts from IBM and Motorola, as mentioned earlier, which are competitors, to build on our team. And therefore, we can build on a full team of professionals in our consulting service.
So you have diversification, differentiation, and development. What you can see in there, maybe you can help understand is marketing strategies.
Okay, so in terms of market strategy, their enterprise. So this is our marketing strategy. And in terms of how to train our sales force, we have one more slide in our appendix to show how can we do it through our sales force transformation.
It's interesting is the higher margin that you're achieving by pushing on the consulting side. But you're also chasing the government business. Do you think you can achieve proper margins by dealing with focusing on government accounts?
Okay, thanks for your questions. Actually, we agree that on a margin perspective, actually consulting has a higher margin than government projects. But we think our company needs to move step by step. So first, our company's strength now lies mainly in the LMRS business. It's our core business. So we want to fully leverage on this to gain more big projects. As we see, it's a very prospective market. We can gain a lot of opportunities in this market. So we want to fully leverage our expertise on it and gain this opportunity. And for consulting, of course, it's a high-margin business, and we want to move into that more and more in the future. But we believe this is a step-by-step procedure, and since it's our five-year plan, we think we first need to leverage on our existing businesses and at the same time develop high-margin businesses.
What's your view on the oil and gas opportunity?
We believe that oil and gas are doing pretty well now. Since our 54 projects, only 3 are from public safety, the other are from the other 4 major industries. We're not doing very well on the public safety area, but we also think this is a very potential market in the future. That's why we're trying to capture it. And also for the gas and oil industry, it's more volatile. So we think on a more conservative area, on a more conservative perspective to protect our company's financials, we will develop more on the public safety area.
So I'm sorry to ask the obvious question. You might have answered it in your presentation, but what will you sell that's related to cloud and big data? I don't get it. Like, what will you sell?
Thank you for your question. Let me move to the slide. In cloud and data is 2 different sets. For cloud, we are selling, and from here we can see that there is a technical, for cloud computing, we are actually selling a way to manage our data by sharing our information and data to the cloud instead of storing it in our local servers. And this is efficient because especially for government projects, there are a lot of government computers connected to the internet, but they are not used at night, and when they are not in use, cloud computing can actually do processing of the data, and that is what exactly cloud computing is about. Like I mentioned earlier, we can use it in terms of information storage for disaster management, because when we store our information on local servers, when there is a disaster and the server is wiped out, we cannot use the data anymore. But when we use cloud computing, it is like a backup of the data we already have, and it can still continue to collect data and process emergency data from the disaster, so that we can still optimize our employment of PD forces, and we can also monitor the citywide from live streaming, and this is done through the cloud instead of done through local servers.
So it's a hosting service, actually.
Part of it is a hosting service.
Right. So you're competing with like the EMC and...
Like IBM is already doing it, yes. For big data is actually collecting all the data maybe from the cloud service and then analyzing it and look for patterns and repeatable patterns, and therefore we can from then come to some